Before we get into the video, I'd like to say the first question was, how is the XFL unique from any other league that you've played in? I didn't catch that on camera, so I just thought I'd share the questions with you guys. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back!
Oh no, a gender reveal explosion is thought to have rattled several towns. It even shook a woman's porch. She lives a mile away.
Motherfucker! To a new video. Today, that's right, we got another interview. If you've ever wanted to know what the XFL was like, one of those other football leagues is not the NFL, it's not the AAF, the XFL, the ones where the fans are like on the sidelines with the players and you can hear the coaches at halftime and you can hear them calling plays. You're like, what the hell? How? If you ever want to know what that is like, stay tuned. Today I was fortunate enough to interview Durrant Miles, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons and formerly of the Seattle Dragons of the XFL. We played in the league before it got shut down due to COVID, and we're going to take an inside look at what the XFL was really like. So, with that being said, please make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
My choice is to remind you again for a second time to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
And tell your grandma, your auntie, your cousin, your sister's neighbors.
If your cousin got a sister, they got an auntie cousin, and if they possibly got a nephew, you know what I'm saying, tell them to subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
I love that about the XFL. And then obviously there was a couple different like rule changes and whatnot, like with kickoff and like the extra point system. There wasn't kicking for like extra points. It was just you had to go for 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And little things like that. But I think the biggest change was just how involved they let the fans be. So it was great, dude. I loved it.
Okay. And then how did the opportunity of playing in the XFL arise for you?
How did it arise, you're saying? So actually it's funny that you asked because I was working a landscape job with my father-in-law. He owns a landscaping company in Utah.
Okay.
And this was just because I had been released from Atlanta, and then I had a workout with Detroit, and then I was just like, just working basically, just something in my free time. And so I was actually up in Park City, Utah, and then that's when the XFL draft was happening. And my agent Harold Lewis, he had talked to me about the XFL and whatnot, and I was just kind of like more so waiting on more opportunity in the NFL to go, to go have a workout with somebody. But then, so I was actually doing this landscaping job, and this is right when the XFL draft was happening. And I guess I missed a call from the Dragons. They had called me and said, "Hey, we're like this." So I called them back because I was running this compacting machine. And anyways, like they called me back. Well, I called them back like 15 minutes after they had called me, and they're like, "Hey, we drafted you." And I was like, "What?" Like, what the heck? Like, sorry I missed your call. And anyways, so yeah, it was funny, but yeah, he got me hooked up with them, so it was good.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a really cool story. And then I know the XFL, they hope to come back in 2022. Do you think that the XFL can be a sustainable league going forward?
I sure hope so, because it really was like, it was a great opportunity, I think, for a lot of guys. And obviously because of COVID, things had to shut down and whatnot, but like, it was a lot of fun. And I think that they had like a really good thing going. Like a lot of the guys, they loved it. I know I loved it. So, I mean, to the business and the financial side of it, I obviously can't speak to that much, but
yeah,
I mean, I really do hope that The Rock and his whole team, that they can make it work.
What The Rock is cooking.
So, because I think it has a lot of potential, and obviously I've heard like they might do stuff with the CFL and like merge leagues and stuff like that. That'd be crazy. I think that'd be awesome. And I mean, at that point, it's like that would be huge for players to be able to develop and be able to get back into the NFL.
Okay. And then do you think it's easier playing in the XFL due to like the lack of teams? Like you get to spend more time focusing on teams and you see the teams more often because there's only 8 compared to the NFL when there's 32.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously the season's a little bit shorter, so there's not as many games as well, or there weren't as many games. But yeah, I liked it. I liked how it was like so intimate. You know your opponent really well, and then you get to go play them a couple times, and yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Okay. And then can you talk a little about the financial benefits or possibly the financial struggles of being an XFL player?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was probably the one down part of the XFL. It obviously the goal was to win. So like so the incentives were good for, teams and players that were bought in and were winning. And then it like really punished players that unfortunately weren't on the best of teams. For example, like we only won one of our 5 games, and it was like the winning bonus was like more than half of what the base salary was.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It was like double, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Double what? Yeah. So if you were losing, you were missing out on like around three grand a game. And then for those teams that were winning, obviously it was sweet. But like the Houston Roughnecks, they made probably like, more than $12,000 more than we did, for example, because they won all their games and we lost the majority of ours. So
okay. Wow, that's definitely, it's kind of like comparable to minor league baseball, I think.
Yeah.
Salaries. Sure. And then now having 5 games worth of film and your college tape, what do you hope to accomplish football-wise moving forward, if that's still a goal of yours?
Yeah. I mean, it's really been difficult just with the COVID stuff right now. Like, I don't know if you know or not, but like a lot of the teams are not bringing guys in for free agent workouts.
Yeah.
Just because there's like crazy COVID protocol. Like you have to be in a hotel for 6 days. You have to have 6 negative COVID tests. Then you can work out. So a lot of teams are just like staying away from it, and they're signing like old veteran guys back onto their squads and stuff, like people that have, had a lot of tape in the NFL already. So that's made it a little difficult, as well as like, I don't know if you heard just recently, the NFL came out and said that they're only going to allow like 5 rookie minicamp invitees.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't hear that.
So that's, detrimental to a lot of players as well. But the only thing that we can do is really just control the controllables, which is our work ethic and what we do every day. So like, that's what I've just been focusing on.
Okay. And then how did being an NFL player for a while compared to an XFL player compare?
I think really the only difference was like the coaches and the city. Like honestly, the mental preparation, like, because all the players, they're all professional football players, like they're the very top of their game in the NFL and in the XFL. Like the XFL wasn't a scrub league at all. It was really, really good competition. Like I think a lot of people kind of had that perception going into it, but dude, it was, there were some kids that I was playing with in the XFL that, obviously there's some kids that got picked up right out of the XFL, and other kids definitely, I think, were better than some of the players that I played in the NFL. So it was just like the competition was the same, and my mentality was the same in both the NFL and the XFL. So like I would say, yeah, man, it was right neck and neck, honestly.
Yeah, talent-wise, it's like right about the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Rate my build on a scale from Kevin Durrant to Ronnie Coleman.
revolver and none. See if I get away with it now that I ain't as big as I was, but I'm.
You're a big guy. You're a big guy. You're 6'4", like 260 roughly, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
How big are you?
Shit, I'm only like 6 foot 180 right now.
Okay.
I'm a senior in high school though, so I still got time.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
He dodged the question. He must think I'm like DK Metcalf then. Yeah, all right. Not yet, but it will be soon. Mm-hmm.
But
And then what's in your supplement routine? Because you definitely are someone that I aspire to look like.
yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
It's really even more than supplements, like it's more so just dieting. So like, I mean, I try and hit a calorie intake every single day. My macros try and hit a certain amount.
I'm gonna need that number. I'm gonna need that number. Yeah, right. You caught me. That was a basketball card. Obi Toppin. You got a problem with that? Come at me. Come on. Yeah. Come on at me.
And it's just like, it's kind of been tailor fit to me, like through the Exos training. Are you familiar with Exos down in Arizona?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, like that's where a lot of the guys go to prepare for the combine and stuff like that, like with Nicholas Hill and Jonathan Barlow.
Mm-hmm.
They're like great guys. And anyway, so like I've just been able to meet with a nutritionist, a dietitian, and just like have a specific plan for like, okay, like if I'm trying to gain a little bit of weight and like I'm in season, then I'm eating a little bit more carbs.
Yeah.
And I'm eating, like then off season stuff, I'll cut back on carbs and bump up my protein and stuff like that. Just to like whatever part of the season I'm in, basically.
Okay. And then what's your personal favorite exercise that you do in the weight room?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, man. In college, it used to be hang cleans. I used to be able to hang clean a lot. But I think I'd still probably say cleans, just because I think it's like the most football related move.
Okay.
Like it's explosive. You got to get extension in your hips. And it's like, I don't know. I think you obviously start the weight from like if you're power cleaning, you're obviously starting it straight from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think that's probably the most football related and specific lift that you can do out of the obviously like the back squat, front squat, cleans and benches and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously the bench is filled with lift, obviously, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Get in there and get a big chest pump going on, but yeah. So
okay, and then that leads me into my next question. What are some tips you have to improve your bench? Because I do my homework. Word has it that you had 24 on the Boise State Pro Day bench press.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. So yeah, like the biggest thing for improving your bench, I think, is understanding like what your base is, basically. So like, for example, when you squat, you're always thinking about your feet in the ground, you're flat footed, you're having good contact with the ground, and that's where your base starts, right? You push through the ground and your force will get you back up. A lot of the times in bench, guys don't realize that you still have to have that base, and when you're in bench, now it becomes your lats that's your base. So when you get on the bench, like I always teach my guys like that I help train or like guys that are curious about it, like I just tell them lock your scaps back and down, push those into the bench, and then make sure they stay in contact with the bench the entire time. Stay rigid through the rest of your body. And it's like then you're not having, like, when you're coming down with the weight, you're not moving around at all with your upper body. And that force is applied more directly through the bar, and you'll end up seeing better gains in your bench pressing.
Holy shit, guys. I was just editing this and listened to the advice again. This guy's a genius. I'd listen to him. It really works.
Okay, thank you. I'll definitely be taking that into account next time
Yeah,
when I'm
good.
benching. And what's that one exercise you do that you absolutely hate, but it helps out a lot?
That I absolutely hate. Well, that's the thing. I don't really hate any exercises. I mean, like, I have ones that I'm like more, I don't know, like, I really don't hate any of them. Like, if I had to say one that I'm like, that it kind of, I don't know, hurts my body the most, maybe, is probably like split squats, like rear leg elevated split squats. But I think that that's like one of the best exercises you can do for your lower body, because oftentimes, like, you get in a gym and most of the lifts you have 2 feet in the ground, like, always, right? Well, in football, you're usually running around and you're like contacting people and you're doing stuff on one leg, you know what I mean? Like, whether you're full sprinting, whether you're changing directions, like, most of the time you're not just sitting with both feet in the ground, like, only obviously when you're starting to play, and then hopefully you don't go flat-footed and don't move your feet for the rest of the play. Like, hopefully you're running around, like, making plays and whatnot. But so, like, rear leg elevated really trains your body to be able to stabilize that one leg that's in the ground. And so I think that one is really, really helpful as well. And I guess the reason why I don't love it as much is just because I'm not that great at it. Like, that's something that I work on during the off season is my stability, my, like, one leg stability, and the power that I can produce off of one leg as well. So
I really hate concentrated curls just because there's not a lot of body movement, and you're just stuck there. And I really hate those. I do them; they're good, but I hate doing those.
Yeah, they are.
The pain in the ass.
That's true.
And what I'm always curious, why did you originally start working out when you were in high school or before that? Like, why did you originally start?
Well, way back, my dad, down in our basement, it was an unfinished basement. He had, like, a little, like, some weights down there, like a bench. And he used to go down there, like, he'd put on a plate and the 25 on each side. And I was a little kid at this time. Like, I was like 5-6 years old. And I was like, wow, my dad's like the Hulk, basically, you know, like, he's so strong. I could never, ever. And then anyways, just growing up, like, I used to go down there and then I would just try and bench press just the bar. And then, like, I started getting a little bit stronger, and, like, it started out kind of like that. Like, when I was a little kid, just looking up to my dad, and he always was lifting. And so I wanted to lift and be like him. And then next thing, I mean, now I'm way stronger than my dad. He's getting old, but
Damn, shots fired.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. That's a good question, man.
That's cool. That's actually exactly why I started. I just wanted to be closer to my dad, and he always works out. He still does. He's 56. And I asked him the other day, I said, Dad, what do you bench? And he was like, why? As he was going down to work out. I was like, I just want to know how close I am to beating you. he didn't like that question.
How much does he bench?
He's 56 and he can still bench 350.
Oh wow, that's great, dude.
Yeah, I originally started doing it with him, and my first been working out since the 8th grade, and I'm a senior in high school now. My first 3 years of working out, I was doing it with him just to be closer with him. Like, I didn't even care too much about it. I remember my first day, I was so sore the next day. I'd never felt that kind of pain before. So I was like, I am not working out ever again. So then my dad came home and he was like super mad about work, whatever. And he started screaming and yelling at everyone in the house, when your dad normally gets upset. And then he came in my room. He was like, Liam, are we working out? And I was like, I was too scared to tell him no. So I was like, yes, okay. And then I like cried my way downstairs and I did it. And then it got better. So then I just kept going.
That's funny. That's funny. How much can you bench press?
I can do 220. I'm so close to 2 plates.
Nice, dude. Yeah, you're right there, dude. I bet you honestly, like if you really applied what I was telling you about, you'll be able to press up 225.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work out after this. So hopefully, I probably shouldn't do this, but the past like month, I've really been trying to get my bench up. I bench every single day. Every day I go for my max. Not every day. I don't like do high reps because obviously that'll kill you. But like I try every day for the max just to see if I can get it.
Yeah, you're so close, dude. Keep going, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And remember, kids.
Don't sure. It's not.